After going on the most random, soul-crushing, gut-wrenching, heart-pounding 3-month break, a lot of you didn't think Invincible could come back after losing all that momentum. But guess what? This season was still some heat! Hey, I should probably give a little spoiler warning here if you haven't seen the finale yet. But also, I feel like at this point you probably would have already seen it. But just in case, the first season of Invincible swept the world off its feet and took everyone by surprise. I was kind of sort of familiar with the comics because my brother was like heavy into it while it was still airing, dropping, releasing, English. You feel me? But anyway, I at least knew about this series prior to it getting animated, so frame one, I was already planning on watching it. But oh my goodness, any semblance of expectations I had were completely blown out the water. Season 1 started with a jaw dropper where Omni-Man bodying the ever-loving out of the Team Justice League, and then it ended with an even bigger jaw dropper with Omni-Man bodying the ever-loving out of his son. This man very easily won the grimiest individual of the season award for that. But then it was like 2 years in between seasons because animation takes a long ass time, right? So I started watching a bunch of videos about what actually happens in the comics, and oh my goodness, start to finish, this series is some heat. Hey, don't even worry though. There's no comic spoilers in this video. You feel me? It's not like I know bar for bar what happens. I mean, I kind of do, but not really. Like, I vaguely know the timeline of events, you feel me? This show does do a really good job at adapting parts of the comics better than the actual source itself. That's gotta be one of my favorite things to witness, dog. Sort of like how the Spider-Verse movies high-key did Miles better than anything else he's ever been in. Not even just Miles. A lot of characters, low-key, every single one of them, were super enhanced narratively and personality-wise in those movies. Kobe went from being somebody I didn't care about at all to being top 10 fictional characters of all time with only like 20 minutes of screen time. But none of that matters, you feel me? This is a video about Invincible easily has the best take on the whole superheroes but dark type beat in my eyes, because it's still hopeful and optimistic at the end of the day, which feels like the essence of that whole genre. Image comics get to be weird in such a different way compared to the standard Marvel or DC shits too. This series is low-key more like a manga than a comic in terms of how it's adapted, because there's just one Invincible story start to finish that's being adapted instead of the like thousands of random disconnected tales of Marvel and DC's heroes, which is interesting. But season 2 has been an absolutely wild ride. Off rip, these characters have to address the fact that Omni-Man squad wiped the city of Chicago and then dipped out the whole map, never to be seen again until Mark sees him again and he gets captured, never to be seen again until once again, you feel me, you get the gist of it. Mark is terrified of the possibility of becoming like Omni-Man. Debbie's in the worst possible emotional state you could be in, as you would imagine. The city's in recovery mode, and so is his family, right? And Cecil's like, oh yeah, perfect, I can manipulate the got this shit right quick. Hey, what Bulletproof said about Cecil has got to be the most accurate shit ever, bruh.
And his boss is a suit who sacrifices all in a second to save white America.
This man is racist. This man is racist. He's definitely.
This right here is a real nigga. He is easily my favorite Guardian right now. Mark's also in college now, kinda. And it's honestly so motherfucking refreshing to see heroes actually age with the audience and whatnot. We also get Alan's side quests throughout the season, except this side quest is probably gonna turn into a really big main quest that will probably span across most of this series. I cannot imagine an all-out war against these niggas being a quick little one and done ass arc. I just don't see it. But Mark goes back into space, meets these bug motherfuckers called the Thraxans, and boom, the grimiest of grimeballs in all of Invincible has returned. I do really like that Omni-Man doesn't really get a real redemption arc in this season. We get like the beginning of it, the little inklings and seedlings of it, but not the full shit, you feel me? Imagine absolutely frying this shit out of an entire city and then immediately becoming normal like right after. It's just not possible. It's not feasible. That would be low-key bad writing. I can't even lie to you. He's completely lost after the Chicago incident and is ready to throw in the towel before meeting his future family. New family. I do kind of wonder if he's had other families prior to Mark in his life on Earth, low-key. I mean, probably not, because them is just conquer, but who knows? But yeah, Mark meets his new brother and reacts about how you would expect. And then completely hits the fan when the Saiyans arrive. The Viltrumites are so fire to me conceptually, because these niggas are really just what would happen if Saiyans and Kryptonians did the fusion dance. They move like Saiyans, conquering planets and engaging in pure fuckery for the sake of their warrior pride, but they're also built like Kryptonians. Actually, they're kind of built like Saiyans too. They literally get Zenkai boosts every time they get their asses beat. And look at how often Mark gets his folded, bruh. There's no way he's not the most powerful motherfucker in the whole cast by the end of the series. He literally is a shonen protagonist. The way he always gets back up, dog, it's kind of beautiful. This is just such a unique way to tell a superhero story, which is kind of ironic because a lot of these characters are like Temu versions of more popular superheroes you've heard of. But anyway, yeah, the Saiyans pull up and Nolan and Mark gotta 2v6 them, and Mark has to take off his weighted training gear and really apply hands to these niggas. They still lose, but Mark really was putting in work during the back half of that fight. Of course, Nolan was applying all kinds of pressure and talking heavy as to these niggas at the same time. But yeah, niggas still lost, and we're left on the insane cliffhanger of Nolan getting captured and Mark once again being painted on the ground. A very familiar place to be for him, I can't lie. That's why he's the GOAT though. You feel me? That's low-key why he's the GOAT. Why do we fall, Bruce? So we can pick ourselves back. What was supposed to be a calm little mid-season break turned into like 3 months of no Invincible, and it was a little painful, not gonna lie. But this is infinitely better than keeping animators in a dungeon and having them slave away to meet the deadline. Hey bro, it was a lot of people saying they couldn't come back from this grueling, excruciating break. A lot of people said they killed all momentum and it was over for this series. And I was low-key starting to worry a little bit. Like, obviously, I knew heat was coming, but I was a little worried that people wouldn't come back to witness greatness. And thankfully, everybody was wrong! We came back to some heat! The back half of this season was absolutely fire! Half of the Guardians got put on a t-shirt. Well, actually, in hindsight, most of them survived, but this was still a colossal L for them. Kate got smushed. Ray got smushed also, and Rex took a hollow to the head and got back up. He released that job's not finished and completed the assignment. But this led to Rex getting an S-tier redemption arc, dog. Holy shit, he's not a dickhead anymore. Who knew being centimeters away from perishing forever could lead a person to changing their ways? He also got a new cybernetic arm on some Star Wars shit, and he's shooting whole ass spirit guns out of that thing. Rudy's still a little weird. The ending of Mark and Amber's relationship was handled really well, in my humble opinion, because there was really no way these two individuals who live such vastly different lives could have stayed together. Like, it really makes you wonder why and how other superheroes are able to stay in relationships with people from the civilian world. As a superhero, there is just zero time to be in a loving, healthy relationship with a save. And after that Anissa episode, there was no way a regular, well-adjusted human being would handle this well. Your entire life is at the mercy of this merciless Saiyan warrior who really don't even see you as a person. By the way, that whole episode was just straight hands. Well, actually, no, it was really Mark getting his folded, twisted, turned, inverted on some boppish. Alan also gets a major Zenkai boost on his side quest after damn near being put in a Viltrumite blunt. He's also actually able to hang with Viltrumites now, and he's about to go on a generational prison break with Nolan next season. Yeah, it is truly wraps for these niggas. Omni-Man is also very easily the greatest take on the whole what if Superman was evil concept, or like a general subversion of Superman. Because yeah, Omni-Man is an absolutely horrid individual who is the product of a super evil society of conquerors who've ingrained dominance into their culture. But Earth put cracks in that armor of his. Earth made him different. Earth made him human, kinda, sorta. Ish. I mean, he's still a little repulsed at the fact that he's different now, but hey, that's just growing pains, right? Oh my goodness, and Mark truly crashed the f out fighting Angstrom Levy. This man not only threatened his family, but actually acted on said threats, and Mark said,
No, f that! On everything, y'all got me f***ed up! On my mama, y'all got me f***ed up.
And oh my, Mark performs a D1 violation on this man's entire existence. And then he said the famous words. You feel me? I thought you were stronger is like the think Mark think of this season finale. You feel me? It's like the stinger, the line that we remember. You feel me? I thought you were stronger. Nigga was talking heavy just to get put in the pack. I'm sorry. Respectfully, Angstrom Levy, you was wilding out, so Mark had to wild out in response. It is what it is. It is what it is. He caught his first body and he's obviously super distraught about it. The juxtaposition of him wanting to be just like his dad when he was younger to now being extremely repulsed at just the possibility. That's just absolutely fire, bro. Robert Kirkman, Ryan Otley, whichever one of you was writing this shit, bro, maybe both of you, maybe probably like a lot more than just those two, I ain't gonna lie. But yo, these niggas know how to cook up a absolutely fantastic story. Almost hit my elbow on it, damn. These niggas know how to cook an absolutely fantastic story. Angstrom Levy is also a super interesting villain because he literally didn't mean for any of this to happen. He was really on some altruistic shit at the start, but fusing with every version of yourself in the vast, infinite, endless multiverse is probably not good for the brain, dog. I mean, literally look at his brain. It's damn near exposed for all of us to see. Also, having episodes be closer to an hour versus the standard 20 minutes is absolutely fire, because it makes arcs feel short and also long at the same time. Like, really think about where everyone was at the beginning of this season versus now. Immortal was being a dickhead to Mark. Rex was being a dickhead to everyone. Mark was in a crumbling relationship. Debbie was ready to say goodbye to everything. Eve said f the superhero life entirely. Started very dark, but as the season progressed, we got a glimpse of hope. Emphasis on the glimpse part, cause shit is still crazy. Oh yeah, while Mark was being sent across the multiverse fighting Angstrom Levy, this nigga met Batman and Spider-Man. Of course, Sony wasn't about to let these niggas use Spidey, but come on, this nigga was literally played by the GOAT, Josh Keaton and everything. After like 5 minutes of Googling, their meeting in the comics was like a whole ass event, and Mark stayed in their universe for longer than a few seconds. Dude met the Avengers and everything, but obviously that wasn't gonna be possible in the show. This was an absolutely spectacular finale though. You feel me? Spectacular. You know what I did there. Fingers crossed we get season 3 soon, but if not, it is what it is. Those animation strikes are coming, dog. There's no way that's not happening soon. It's time for the super corporations to stop playing on animation top and finally put some respect on it. But yeah, I've been wanting to talk about this series for a minute now, but I was like, f it. I'm gonna just wait for the season to be over, and here we are. It was just absolutely beautiful, start to finish. The shit was beautiful. I genuinely, with all my heart, hope we get to see all of this series fully adapted all the way to the end. I really, fingers double crossed, I really hope we get to see all of this series. But shout out Invincible and shout out you.
I can't feel my face right now, I'm burning up. I got this feeling that I won't come down like. Got this feeling that I won't come down like. Got this feeling that I won't come down like. I can't feel my face right now.